Okay, we're back. So, the golden arrow should peter out soon, but I should be able to get most of the way to solar power before it runs out. Which is very much a good thing. Ah, you could use one. Okay. Pesticide manufacturer. Okay, modern crane. Computer science department. Expressway. No. I'm gonna want to build that programming language. For sure. It's just that the modern crane produces even more production. So. First thing, it's top priority. Wait, if I sent a snake... Oh, dang it. Drat. I should have not spammed that button. Let's not deal with that. I've got huge amounts of cash anyway, so... Yeah, it's still going to be a while before this city... gets to that point. Ooh, hawking that. Is there anything I want to talk about? I'm not actually sure. I do want that high-tech coal power plant. As soon as possible. But I need for one of my cities to actually go ahead and build a microchip factory so that I have access to the microchips. I know I've got one of them hammering away at that. So it shouldn't take too long. Ooh. It's a bird. Birds aren't exactly necessary. They're very common, so I can just snatch the gains whenever. I severely underestimate the amount of points available. That's what the game is very much doing around that infrastructure. Ah, well. I can get more details down the line. That, and you, and those can wait. Factory? Okay. Oh. I'm missing the engineering school. University then. Yeah. Engineering tool school is just too good to pass up on. You still don't have enough culture to actually reach that far out. Not truly. Oh well. That will come, eventually. I'll just have to wait. I definitely want to get that jungle coastline railroaded, though. For easier access. Because it is genuinely a bit annoying to have to go through all that every single time. I think I do want to talk about. I mean, I'm trying to get solar power so I can get all these solar power buildings that, you know, these solar power plants, which all provide even more production for me to work with. Falconry School. Ooh, a fur farm. I mean, the city doesn't really need the kelp farms yet, but it will in the future. Probably. Oh, geez, you're working this tile too? He's that desperate? Really? Computer science department. Anything else can be done later. Railroad's a tile, even if I don't work it just yet because it's out of my cultural borders. Sure. It's a start. I'm also gonna have to at some point deal with those. Yeah, you're dealing with the microchips. It'll be done soon enough. Don't worry, next turn I can start building that high power coal power plant. Yeah, this is the best bet. For efficiency. Any cities like a carnival? Over here at least? Yeah, no. So. And there's no point building donkey bridges when I can just do the master tamer, which is the building that replaces all those buildings. So. No point getting the camp. I believe that gets replaced down the line. Okay, put boxing kangaroo here. Bird. Oh, that city needs birds. Okay. Before I railroaded those. I guess I can mine the tile. Yeah. Continent already has all the carnivals it needs anyway, so. Oh, hey, shopping district done. Now I can build the high-tech coal power plant. Excellent. It is expensive, but it's so very helpful. However, not before the computer science department. It's good, but it's not that good. Because the stuff that the computer science department provides is just way too good to pass up. Just look at it. That much production in so few turns cannot be turned down. There. That's good. For now, I can hammer out more details later on down the line. 20 production in 17 turns. Don't build the steam crane, build the modern cranes. Yeah, that's good. That's very good, in fact. Is there anything else that could feasibly be built? The foundry is also amazing, though it won't produce as much as the modern cranes. That has priority. How about the leather factory? About the same efficiency as the foundry. Okay. I don't see anything that's quite as efficient as that. High power coal plant. Except maybe the bronzesmith, but even then. Okay, that's the current order. The high power coal plants provide me with more production for less cost. Well, except for production cost, but yeah. Ooh. Mine. Mine all mine. Okay. You, and you. I should be able to get soul power soon enough. Reiterating my earlier question, is there anything that I actually want to talk about? Not really? I'd rather avoid having a quiet session if I can, well. If reasonable. Upgrade you to a modern battleship. Yeah, okay. Where's the light tank? There it is. Let's build one of those quickly. Computer Science Department. Oh, Tamuning needs health. Okay. It's gotten a bit too sick. There does appear to be only one, so it is okay-ish for the moment. But only for the moment. Okay.
Here at this site, Solander expects to make enough solar panels each year to generate 500 megawatts of electricity. And over the lifetime of this expanded facility, that could be like replacing as many as 8 coal-fired power plants.
Neat. Is there nuclear power around here? There should be. I mean, I've got modern physics here. Fission, okay, so there's the Manhattan Project. Yep. But usable nuclear power, wouldn't this come up at some point? Or is it further ahead than I thought it would be? No, there's no way it's this far ahead. I could have sworn. Oh, here it is. There's nuclear power. I don't know what to say, really. I mean, I guess I have some qualms with solar power, but there's problems with every power generation facility, method. And just because there are problems with all of them does not mean that I don't care about what kind of power generation system gets used. Just because there are problems with everything does not mean that all those problems are equal. There's a concept called nuance. Some things are better than others, and exactly what that is can depend on the situation itself. Some drawbacks are acceptable, some are not. And what a society considers to be acceptable can vary greatly. Over time. Based upon, the society making those calls, the people making those calls. Huh, so I can't even do that. Now, that is very interesting. Like, yeah, I mean, sure, like I said, there are problems with solar power. But it still kind of outclasses most, definitely the fossil fuels, because, yeah, it's plain and simple. Fossil fuel power has severe pollution issues. Not just with climate change and all that, but with other aspects too, that are extremely important. Give me a minute. Sorry about that. Like, my favorite example with issues with pollution is coal power. There is, I mean, I guess the results would be obvious since I mentioned that first, but pop quiz. Which method of power generation is proven to cause the most instances of cancer? Well, most deaths by cancer. And I'll give you a hint, it's not solar power. Literally the fact that I mentioned the, coal power plant should make it at least a little bit obvious that it is coal power. But yes, coal power actually causes more cases of cancer than nuclear power. Which, considering nuclear power, revolves around ionizing radiation, which causes cancer if you're exposed to it unshielded. That's also a key point. Shielding does prevent people getting affected by nuclear radiation. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Shielding does do that. Which is exactly the reason why nuclear power plants cause less cases of cancer. And this is by every metric you try to look at. Quantity of power plants? Sure. Units of power generated? Yes. Total amount? I mean, obviously, we do produce more coal power than nuclear power, so that one makes sense. Okay, I need to deal with these hunters. They're annoying. Extremely so. Yeah, the coal power pollution is actually that damaging to your health. And it's partially because most coal that you dig out is mixed in with a little bit of radioactive minerals. Well, that's true of most rocks, really. Yellowcake, uranium ore deposits are just where uh, the concentration of specifically uranium, is especially high. Same with other radioactive metal deposits. Those just happen to be the locations where it's particularly high. Which can and will affect things in other areas too. But honestly, slight radioactivity is fine. It's when the level becomes damagingly high, which is the case when, with unsafe nuclear power plants and also coal power plants, because they're just that dangerous. It is truly that bad. Be very careful with coal power. It should be something that should. Aren't you going to No, you're down here to route 2. Okay. You were just building a mine. Okay. You picked up enough experience to level up, but you need a great general in order to actually get... Right? Yeah. Yep, move to town too far. Let me get the enclosure and fur farm underway in Puree, and next turn. And then there's, the entire bloody issue of climate change. Yeah. To put it simply, even if it weren't for all of this other nonsense, climate change is already a very good reason to work towards getting rid of this stuff. Yeah, assembly plant first, and the industrial farms. Carpenter first. I can't believe that hasn't been built yet in this city. Because carpenter's really good. Okay, I have built the engineering school already. Good. Moose. Simple as a closure. Center for Shark Studies. Just to get that extra little bit of science. And I have to at least say this. At least the other fossil fuels aren't as bad as coal. Even if it's good quality coal, it's still atrocious. And honestly, we should stop burning it. Charcoal isn't that bad because it's made from trees, and if you were going to burn something anyway, it might as well be something renewable. But old coal is locked up carbon from, actually, long dead trees, specifically. From a very long time ago. Back before, well, there were actually any microbes that could feasibly digest the materials that, well, make up the trees. So the bark and whatnot. Before then, there just wasn't anything that could actually digest it. It had to evolve first. And that's where all the coal comes from. It's gonna take a while for the biofuel power plant to come up, so... Wood-fired dynamo, please. Sadly, I've already built all the coal stuff in the city, so the high-tech coal power plant is going to be a while before it becomes reasonable to build. Okay, and then computer science department. Nothing else is fast enough to... But yeah, really, coal is... And it's all the way over here. How the heck am I supposed to... Fine. Fine. This will raise inflation, but I don't care. It will recover after a while. This, that. You. Actually, I really should check the other cities to see if they could use... Yep, of course. Oh, you need a fur farm. Okay. I think I've already built all the... At least on this. On Ethiopia, the Pliocene remains. I'm not sure about Byzantia, though. I want to have a look. Okay. I'm not interested in transporting animals to another continent. That's way too much effort for how little benefit it provides. Hey, Pythagoras.
Fight on and fly on, to the last drop of blood, and the last drop of fuel, to the last beat of the heart.
Naval flight doesn't actually give me anything, not directly. Oh, you. No, the other ship is around here somewhere. Cannot have gotten far. There you are. Glad I followed the coastline, otherwise it would have been impossible track. Okay, now I just need to find a city that has space for... Fine. Yeah, I think it's time to start not building academies with the great scientists that I pick up. Because the academies get obsoleted by personal computers. And while I am going to put off researching personal computers for a while because of this, I cannot put it off forever. I have to research it at some point, if only because of the benefits that it provides. Okay, let's get you your engineering school. There you are. Okay, the traction engine workshop isn't as good as the assembly plant. And you, the industrial farms, are actually better than the assembly plants, so, well, there goes that priority. But I'm definitely building the assembly plant after that. Manufacturing plant? Nah, that can wait. I'll wait and see after I get these 3 buildings done. Kuman is going to take a while, especially, and with that amount of time, I can probably get at least a few tile improvements to boost base production. Oh, go there and do the Naval Institute. It's impossible to find anything on water without at least sentry. 1 or 2. I can't get sentry 2 without a certain tech. So that one might take a while too. Thankfully, the next few techs don't seem like they're going to take that much. Okay, maybe I should word that difficultly. It doesn't seem like it's going to add very many buildings that I need to build, so that's at least nice. Naval Institute. Place with the young forest. Up the location. Recover from the forest fire. No solar power whatsoever in the city? I mean, sure, it's Tangaroa, but... Once I get the high-tech coal power plant, the city's going to be much healthier. Because that'll help clean up all of the sheer amount of pollution. I've already said this before, but... yeah, coal power pollution is rough. It is atrocious. Even after you go through all the effort of cleaning it up. The smoke that gets belched out is still really bad. Despite it all. All that effort that goes into making sure that it's clean. Has the factory been built? Thanks. I mean, it must have. Why am I not seeing? There it is. That's the leather factory. Okay, the traction engine workshop is pretty good. That's not that great. Ooh, I want that levy. And I guess hydro plant. I hope. Maybe. I mean, wind power does have its own issues too. Apparently, it causes a lot of vibrations. By the way, most of which are not audible. So people who complain about noise pollution from wind turbines are just hearing things. Unless they live very close to a wind turbine, like within a few hundred meters, which is not very far. Okay, let's see here. This, these. The chemical plant allows me to build the rocket fuel refinery. I should build before I build the high power coal plant. No. Never mind. It's just not fast enough. Get these out of the way. They're all one turn, so they get done fast. Ooh, the bronzesmith can be built as well in 2 turns. Let's build you. Foundry. You as well. You also. You. Okay. I think that might be good for the moment for that city. Admittedly, I didn't actually check the, something else. What was it? Yeah, the leather factory, but... If I want to get through the turns quick, it's just not possible for me to optimize every single action. It's just too much. Plain and simple. Optimum outcomes are only possible to a certain degree. Beyond that, it just becomes impossible to keep track of everything. In more ways than one. Like, this short list of buildings I can easily handle. There's not that much. And I know those buildings well enough because I've been clicking on them for ages. I can see them and tell, okay, this is better than this is better than that, so on and so forth. The other stuff, it can be a bit more difficult. Fox dances are not worth burning that on. Or going through the effort of building a dance hall? Is it a jazz club by now? Or, nightclub? Whatever. Building that allows me to build dances. Also, same with the blood dance. Right now the focus is on production. The blood dance takes quite a bit of effort to get through and all that, so... Limited utility and all that. Do wish I could adjust the hunt priorities. Not sure if I can do that. Yeah, let's get you that movement range you deserve. Oh, I can add another one of these as long as the city has the slot open. I don't think there are any left on Mononesia though. That's part of the problem. Mononesia, Byzantinia, Ethiopia, surrounding islands. The only way to know for certain is to truly check in every single one of them, but that takes very, very long. And it's becoming increasingly obvious that, well, there really doesn't seem to be a slot left, no matter how often I check it. Well, that decisively pointed that out. Okay, Combat 5 then. Oh, airport. Yeah, I admit it's a bit of a slower session this time. I haven't even started working on a city, but that's because I'm doing this, the World Tower. A free construction form in every city would be very helpful for the newer cities. It would allow me to avoid building the modern offices at least for a bit longer. And we all know that that's the most important thing, right? Okay, there we go. It just needed a moment to load the stuff in. I think I already checked the jade. It's actually a bad idea. Okay. Moving on. Okay, yeah, you're at this point. So, you, and these, and that. I'm going to have to build the airport in that city too for the air shipping warehouse. Same with this one, but that is... Oh, you haven't built the supercomputer yet. Okay. My scientists give +3 protection. Oh, isn't that nice? I do wonder how long that's going to last. I find it extremely unlikely that any major cities remain that don't have the snake buildings. Would have to be one of the newer ones. Yeah, I honestly wasn't expecting much else. You, and that. Oh boy, one of the newer cities, which means I actually need to think about this. No. The whole... If I already built the ironworks? Why would I build the advanced ironworks and not the advanced copperworks? Is what I'm really wondering. All I can do is question my previous choices. There's little more I can do about that. Peatbog. Those are difficult to work. Maybe... Okay, apparently there aren't very many options around here, so sure, fine, I'll clear it and then figure out what I can make of it. Sorry. Okay.
Damn the torpedoes. Full speed ahead.
Sounds like a great way to get sunk by a submarine. But I do appreciate the sentiment. That takes way too long to reach. There's a chance it gets destroyed, but... I mean, 9 turns, why not? And it's a whale. There's a lot of cetacean type animals that fulfill the requirements for obtaining that reward building. So, yeah, okay. 23 production. Yeah. Yeah, unavoidably good, that one. The modern quarry requires construction firm. We could be 41 production and 13 turns, though. And you know what? Since I'm very close to getting a free construction firm in every city, I'm going to wait. Because like 3 turns at the most? Yeah, 3 turns until Wall Tower. Build some railroads. To make the spot easier to deal with. Next. Yeah, we're going to be going for Diesel Punk. I'm not sure when I'll build the culture, but they do have quite a bit of buildings that provide production, so. Which means even more stuff for my cities to build. Oh, in the pursuit of maximizing the amount of productive output. Ooh, Thiacine remains. Wrong button. I'll make sure to finish the hour. Well, I mean, there's a low chance of me actually finishing before the hour's up, but I can at least try. Yeah. It's not worth it. Computer sometimes first, I can get a programming language, which tends to be better than all the other options, as it stands. Okay. I'm surprised the carpenter hasn't been built. Okay, levy's terrible. Shoot, is that really my best option? No, the industrial farms. Only the carpenter is better at the moment. Then again, lots of unimproved tiles, fine. Oh, what now? Computer science department. Yeah. The programming language is just too good to leave for later. If the line ends on that, yeah. The World Tower. Free construction firm in every city. That should severely speed up a lot of stuff. Huh. Oh, fast. Okay, maybe not. Hubris. Wow. Okay, 40 production. It would be. Not a good idea to skip that any more than it already has. Okay, university is pretty good. Perhaps I should check the leather factory first. Yeah, fine. Leather factory before the university. Still doesn't change the fact that the university is very good. Same with the high-tech core power plant. I don't think anything else has that level of efficiency, so yeah. I'll save further queue options for later. Just slowly whittle down until I get to the buildings that I know. Slowly whittle away at the buildings that I know are good. That's the process. The only process that's anywhere close to reasonable. Programming language, software firm, computer science department. Oh boy. Engineering school. I think the factory is the best option. No, clay pit first. Factory's the best option. Yeah, that isn't rarely the greatest of signs. No, actually, it's a decent sign. It's when it's not the best option that, and it's not some sort of really cheap building like the engineering school. That's when it's a bad sign. Okay, new spot or somewhere around here. It's the most reasonable location to plop a city. That or continue attempting to go this way. But I think here-ish, somewhere around here is a good spot. I'm probably also going to have to bite the bullet and settle somewhere inland here. I'm not entirely certain where, but I would prefer to be near fresh water. Preferably a river, if possible, but admittedly, that's honestly kind of unlikely, considering how spots are. Yeah, something is going to get left behind, unless I settle on a spot that doesn't have a river. Oh well. Okay, remove the swamp. Let's see if I can get something good out of it. I'll see what the options are, and then I'll decide. But it's probable that the peacock won't get removed before the end of session. I doubt we're going to be able to unlock the tech before the hour's up. There's only a minute and a half left. No. The workers will get there. Give them time. Let's see. Honestly, with the titanium ore is not a bad idea. On the other hand, the llamas. No, actually, the llamas are where the llamas. I miscounted the number of tiles. The llamas are the best spot. Orchard. No. Let's build another lumber mill. Computer science department. Thankfully, I'll get a new city set up before end of session. So I can only say that. The Vault Tower will, however, severely help with a lot of stuff. That's for sure. It also allows me to put off building the offices, but I've already said that. That's also a railroad. Okay. And city. Right here, defend. That's Carib. Yeah, Mononesia already has all those remains that could possibly be obtained from the Thliocene. Right, new city, new options. But the mining camp always reigns supreme. Anyway, diesel punk.
Progress has not followed a straight ascending line, but a spiral with rhythms of progress and retrogression, of evolution and dissolution.
Progress is not a undying force. It is merely a change, a push towards something new that won't exist unless there is enough people wanting it. But yeah, there's a lot of diesel punk buildings that can get me some extra production, science, whatnot. Can you even? No, you cannot reach that. I can mine the marble though. Let me handle the city stuff so I don't have to do it later. Right, that's right. Just keep hunting the enter key until I run out of cities that it leads to. Okay, I think that's good. So I've got solar power now, and some of the text down here in order to work my way through these. I'll get zeppelins. I'm gonna need diesel punk if I want to build some of these buildings. Although on the other hand, admittedly, getting diesel punk means more buildings than I need to build. Which isn't the greatest of things. You know what, I can save that for next session, the choice. What tech to go for. Things are slowly moving along. I can get an idea of where they are just from looking. Dueling. Hotte's about to reach Renaissance medieval lifestyle. Sue is on dueling, which I believe is late medieval. No, that might be. Oh, it's early Renaissance. Okay, so you're in Renaissance. So I'm about 2 ages ahead of Sue and 3.5 ahead of Hottie. Which makes sense since Hottie is constantly harried by increasingly dangerous barbarians. The only thing keeping them alive is the fact that they have 30 crossbowmen, composite bowmen, sitting in the city. And they have no way of actually working towards upgrading their tiles. So they're sitting on these tiles that aren't very useful. Sue, on the other hand, doesn't really need to worry about it since they've already colonized every possible spot on their island. So there's really not very many there's not very many slots that barbarians can spawn in the first place. I'm gonna have yeah. At the very least with the World Tower, I can get back to focusing on building more settlement, more cities. Although I believe in Honolulu, I want to get the programming language first. I can save this off. Yeah, I'm gonna build the computer science department and then programming language. Then another city set up. Then the software firm and high-tech coal power plant. Then another city set up. Then all the solar power. Another city set up. Beyond that, Depends on what new buildings I unlock. I'm not really certain what will come up next. There's only so much time I can spend looking, plotting, devising, figuring out what to do next. I mean, I could try moving towards ecology. I'm gonna get the breeding program set up. That's a lot of them. And, I mean, recycling isn't really helpful. The recycling center itself is somewhat useful, but the various reclamation plants, I don't really see the point. Nah, the waste incinerator power plant. And the electronic waste recycling depot. Those, ooh. But the reclamation plants just are not worth the effort. You know what, maybe new urbanism? The thing is, it's so far ahead that it takes a while. Oh. I have no idea how long ecology is going to take because the tooltip stretches beyond the screen. No, that doesn't work either. Look at it. The tooltip stretches beyond the screen. I'll have a 1440p monitor. It's absurd. It's ludicrous. But presumably, it's not going to be more expensive than new urbanism. At least not in turn count. I mean, it's probably going to be the same as legalized gambling, right? So it's only going to take 9 turns. So maybe I'll head for that next. Let's look at astronomy. Energy drink factory. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff that I can do. Going for modern healthcare, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm stalling a bit too long. Do not worry, the colonization of the continent is... I would say it's more than halfway over, really. At least coastline-wise. There's not much left over here before I start conquering these city remnants, you know, the remnants of Hati. Yeah, it's just stuff up here, and then over here. There's going to be a lot of interior that I need to deal with, but that's a problem for later. Like, there's still interior here that I definitely need to colonize, but again, problem for later. I can get to it at some point. And I should get a city somewhere like here, maybe here. Another one over here-ish. Maybe further south. I'm not sure. Maybe that way. Definitely a city around here-ish. Possibly here. Even if I can't get a river tile, freshwater is still a fairly good idea. It just makes sense. And if I can also do that coastline as well, more buildings generally is better. Just here, somewhere around here, another one here, another one here. Is that again? Resin is Still, it's a coastal tile. Somewhere along here. A city around here, probably here actually. And another one around here. Yet another one on one of these tiles. Conquer, 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 conquer. A city here. I'm gonna have to do one up here. And that's the approximate plan. Of course, I won't necessarily remember this, but I'll get it. I mean, I thought of that up pretty quickly just by looking at the terrain itself, so it's not unreasonable that I'll be able to get something similar rather quickly just by looking at it again. Anyway, I've gone on long enough. I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.